What up, guys? It's your boy WrestleFlow OG, WrestleFlow fans. What it is, man. My God, The Undertaker has finally officially retired. Oh, yes, I am not joking. The Undertaker, the Phenom, the American Badass, the Big Evil, the Dead Man, the Lord of Darkness has retired. Holy crap, man. Officially retired. The Undertaker, man. Hands down, my favorite wrestler in wrestling. Loved the whole Undertaker Kane storyline from the get go. Grew up watching The Dead Man, and you know what? It's so hard for me to believe that the dead man, that the dead man is not going to be wrestling anymore. It's just one of those things where I would say it's a bittersweet feeling. It's tough. It's a tough. As G Mitty says, hi. No, The Undertaker retired. Yeah, bro, officially he has retired. And you know what? Why I say it's a bittersweet feeling is because, it was time for The Undertaker to retire. Sadly, is just what life is, and is just what the business is. Sometimes we all have to just step back and, do it for the better things in life. I would say, The Undertaker has given us service for like 30 years, man. What else can we expect from him? Of course, we all gave him shit for his, not so great matches towards the end of his career. But you know what? He is more than a legend. The Undertaker, I can't even, begin, to tell you guys the memories I have watching The Undertaker. It all goes back to my childhood. And I'll be honest, The Undertaker, I really liked him because of his dark character. And then, how he switched himself to the American Badass, and even that biker gimmick The Undertaker had with the American Badass, Big Evil, Dead Man. It was just, he was my favorite wrestler of all time, regardless, and it's just crazy. The Coon Hunter says, yo, bro, how would you feel after we get crowds back? Undertaker talks on a corporate Kane sellout of the gimmick. The crowd boos him and can't believe how he's changed. Yeah, I just feel like obviously at this point, the Undertaker wouldn't do any type of a storyline or say anything like that anymore. He's even in the past few years, right? He just comes for a WrestleMania match, doesn't even have like a promo. We had something with AJ Styles, and probably that was because he knew in deep down that this is his last match. The Coon Hunter says, at least we'd still have him on TV. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I would love to see Taker on TV. But then again, it all goes back to I respect the man's, decision at this point. I, being a diehard fan of The Undertaker, actually wanted him to retire a few years back. I think WrestleMania 30, when he lost the streak, was the best time for The Undertaker to finally, put the gloves down. Because, it was, he kind of passed the torch to Brock Lesnar, which I think it should have been CM Punk, but, there goes my bias again. But hey, it's just one of those things, man. The Undertaker has such a legendary career. The way he switched and reinvented himself over the years, from the first Undertaker Dead Man, then, getting Paul Bearer, and then, everything, then turning into the Ministry of Darkness, aligning all of the Viscera, Gangrel, all of these guys, the APA with him, the Acolytes at the time, having the Ministry of Darkness. I would love to see a reunion with the Ministry of Darkness. That was one of my favorite stables over the years. To then become the American Badass, have a few years like that, and then come back to his roots in 2004 after WrestleMania 20 as the Phenom again. So, it just goes back to all of those things. I personally, I'll be honest, guys, the match with AJ Styles was a great match, for what it was, cinematic, everything. I personally would have liked to see Undertaker versus Kane for the last time, just to wrap up a rivalry and, a chapter in wrestling. The Brothers of Destruction finally, they're done. So let me know your thoughts and comments, guys. How do you guys feel about The Undertaker? What is your favorite match of The Undertaker? What is your favorite gimmick of The Undertaker? And how do you guys feel about The Undertaker finally retiring, man? I read this morning, I didn't get a chance to watch, all 5 of the Last Ride series yet. I saw that clip where he kind of, talks about how he kind of knows that, he has no desire to step in the ring again. And, that when I heard that from him, oh Lord, like, I was pretty sad, man. It's just sad. It's just sad to see The Undertaker is finally gone, but I think it's better. As Jay Mitty says, who won, AJ Styles or The Undertaker? The Undertaker won that match. So it's just one of those things, man. The Undertaker, brought so much to professional wrestling. He did so much for the WWE. He did so much for Vince McMahon. He was a locker room leader. He helped and mentored so many other superstars. He was the responsible one. You never heard some type of a scandal about The Undertaker or any irresponsible behavior from The Undertaker or, anything. This guy was a real good dude. He was a responsible, superstar. SG Mitty says, nice. He ended his career with the win. Yeah, definitely. Even AJ Styles, I saw that clip where AJ Styles, like, holy crap, man. Like, to be able to do something like that is pretty crazy, man. AJ Styles, to have that, that accolade, to wrestle Undertaker's last match, even though Taker said never say never, but for the most part, we will not, we might see, I don't think we will see The Undertaker at next year's WrestleMania, because I think he's really, really, really serious about it this time. And I respect it. I definitely respect this whole thing, this whole decision, because look, we all want to retire at some point of our lives. We all want to, we all have some hopes and dreams, some accomplishments that we want to retire with, saying that, hey, I want to work this much and then I'm done. So, like this guy, given us 30 years, given the company 30 years, given the talent 30 years, he has done more than enough, man. The Undertaker, man. The Undertaker has retired, everyone. Let me know in the comments section, guys. How do you guys feel about The Undertaker retiring? Oh my God, I can't even believe it, man. Still, like, when I read that news this morning, I was like, what? Like, what? The Undertaker retired? It was shocking to me. It's crazy, man. It's you got to look at something else. It just goes back to how so the Undertaker retires, and then just like us, as we saw the Undertaker wrestle over the years, even we grew. Like I think I started watching wrestling at let's say 7 or 8, right? And now I'm 27, so I've been watching wrestling for almost 20 years, right? 20 freaking years, guys. 20 years. And he's been wrestling 10 years before that. So, there you go. Like, I've grown up watching the Dead Man. And it's just crazy. It is freaking crazy that, the Dead Man is no longer around. Sean, as G Midi says, I have kind of mixed feelings about him retiring. I agree. Sean Franklin says, you think Undertaker biopic movie? No, I don't think so. I think the Last Ride documentary, maybe, down the line, maybe 10 years down the line or maybe 5 years down the line. But I mean, I don't like, the thing is, I don't think, like, why would they need a biopic movie? Like, I think the Last Ride documentary really kind of covers it. I think they will come up with like DVDs and all of that stuff. They have, but maybe a biopic movie, but I don't think, basically showing the Undertaker and everything, like, as, someone acting like the Undertaker. So it's that's just what it is. Like, the perspective of it really comes down to, what would, why would that be necessary? I'm pretty sure that next year, before WrestleMania, he will finally get inducted to the Hall of Fame, which I'm very excited about. I don't know who would induct him. What would that speech be like, and what would Undertaker's speech be like? That would be so damn interesting, right? Just to see finally the Undertaker talk about that stuff. I think that would be hell yeah. I think that would definitely be interesting, man. Who he credits and all of that stuff. This is a Hall of Fame speech that I personally have been waiting for so many years now. Just to see, like, it's going to give us, the fans, some closure as well. To see him, obviously go through, he had a lot of obstacles, his hip surgery, all of the pain that he was doing, and, just to perform at WrestleMania, and then the Goldberg match and all of that stuff. And it's crazy, man. Like, that man really went through some bullshit just to, just to give us some, good content at this point. So that's what it is, man. I mean, it's going to be hard to watch wrestling, and it's going to be hard to look forward to WrestleMania now, in my opinion. To be very honest, it's going to be, the Undertaker match was actually something I used to look forward to every single year of WrestleMania. So that not happening anymore is going to be something definitely that would be a bummer for me. But hey, As long as Taker's happy, yo, like hey, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. That guy needs to take care of himself a little more, be healthy, and all of that stuff. At the end of the day, you just want to wish health on these people. This guy did so much to entertain us. The dead man, the phenom, man. He is one of the legends, one of the greatest ever. His gimmick, man. Like, if I start talking about his gimmick right now, one of the best gimmicks. This gimmick would never work today. Like, the way he still was able to carry that nostalgic feeling every time he walked into the ring, it was nuts, man. As G Mitty asked, what did you do when Brock Lesnar broke the streak? I was shocked. I thought they would never do it. I honestly thought that they would never break the streak. I thought he was going to go out with the streak, but hey, he gave it to Lesnar. And, he probably had a level of respect for Lesnar to be able to give him that, you know. It could have been so many different people who would have, Vince would have given it to. But this was the Undertaker's choice, I think. And it's just one of those things where it's like, damn, man, the Undertaker has finally retired. And that's it, man. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what gimmick of the Undertaker was your favorite gimmick? I know there's a lot of different gimmicks that he did. Mine personally was the Ministry of Darkness and Big Evil. Those were two of my favorite gimmicks by the Undertaker. Overall, I really liked the Undertaker when he was the Ministry of Darkness. I think that's when he was the scariest, and when he was Big Evil, he was the coolest wrestler in the wrestling arena. And yeah, overall, man. And that's what it is, guys. The Undertaker has finally officially retired from the WWE, from professional wrestling. And yeah, man, that is nuts. That is nuts. I can't even believe that man will not be at WrestleMania next year. I don't know if they might do a spot, do something, but I think he's actually done this time. I think The Undertaker is done for good. So let's see, guys. Only time's gonna tell with all of this stuff, man. It's crazy. It's a weird feeling to see The Undertaker not, gonna wrestle anymore. But hey, legend all the way. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Let's get those subscriptions up, and let's hope that wrestling stays. Wrestling improves. Professional wrestling improves, so we watch it for another 10 years, and maybe our kids in the future watch wrestling or whatever. Because today, honestly, wrestling is nothing like what it used to be 10 years ago and before. So I just hope, guys, we stick around with all of this stuff. It gets better. Things get interesting over the years, because today we just retired a legend. So make sure you guys subscribe. Let me know in the comments section, guys, what Undertaker gimmick was your favorite gimmick, and what was your favorite Undertaker match of all time. You could even list two if that's what if you can decide. But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say tonight. WrestleFlow fans, WrestleFlow is out, guys. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys subscribe.